Hi everyone, my name is Talha Parkar and in this video I will help you set up your first n8n workflow. We'll understand and get a quick overview of what n8n is. I'm sure you've heard of the tool, maybe on Instagram, maybe on LinkedIn, and then I will help you build your first workflow. I will show you the steps in the video and you can follow along or watch the video a couple of times to get the hang of it. Let me just bring you to the main n8n page, which is right here, right? So n8n essentially is a no-code tool, right, where you can build stuff visually. You can just drag and drop items and you can build automations, agentic workflows, etc. Right? Now, I'll not go into the details of what an agent is, what agentic AI is, so on and so forth. Maybe I'll leave that out for some other video. Right now, I'll just help you set up your first workflow, right? So I have a sample workflow here, that n8n gives you as a template, right? So what you see in this workflow is that this is an AI agent workflow. The first step here, right? This is a demo workflow, right? And this workflow has a trigger. So every automation as well will always have a trigger. Similarly, an agentic workflow where an AI agent is involved, like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Anthropic's Claude, Google's Gemini, that will also have a trigger. Right now here the workflow trigger is manual, which is on click, right? This kind of a trigger is an on click trigger. I can double click on this trigger to better understand what kind of trigger this is, right? So you can always click and look at the parameters, right? And with the icon itself, you can always go to the documentation also, and you can see that this is a manual trigger, right? So the best place to learn any new tool or its features is from their official documentation. That will help you understand quite a lot. So every single bit here, right? So this workflow trigger here, this here, this here, this here, each and everything is a node, right? Each and everything is a node, N-O-D-E. So what happens here is you click on this trigger, it goes to the AI agent, right? AI summary agent. That agent uses some chat model, right? The chat model could be anything. It could be Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, but here it uses OpenAI's model where you get some free n8n credits, right? So you don't have to figure out APIs, etc. None of the technical stuff. If you're a student, if you're a working professional and you want to try this out for the very first time, you can check this out, right? So you get free credits. And if I double click on the agent here, somewhere here I'm going to find a system prompt. So all of us are aware what a prompt is. Prompt allows you to talk to chatbots like ChatGPT, like Gemini, like Claude, like Grok, like DeepSeek. So what we essentially do is we give a detailed instruction, and then the chat model, which in our case right now is OpenAI's ChatGPT, that model will read these instructions and help us execute the workflow. Now, this is referred to as the brain of the agent, right? So agent needs some trigger and the agent needs some reasoning, some power, some brain. Now there is memory. Memory means whatever the agent does or the output that it creates, do I want to save that? Right now in this demo workflow, there is no memory added, which means whatever output this workflow generates will not get saved. So there is a manual trigger that triggers on click, and then it goes to the agent. The agent has access to a brain, which is OpenAI's model. The agent can also have access to memory, but here memory is not added in this default workflow. You can add it, but since it is not added here, I will not complicate things and I will skip it. Then there is something called as tool. So in this workflow, this AI agent has to use OpenAI's model and get some information. Now this looks like an RSS feed, right? So we can go to docs and see, yeah, see, this is an RSS feed, right? So where is it going? It's going to the Verge website. The Verge is a tech website which has updates on tech, etc. Right? So it has some XML content here, and if I just show you the Verge website, so RSS feed, this is the RSS feed link. Right? This is the Verge website. What is RSS feed? I'll just quickly show you. Right? Really simple syndication, standardized computer readable text file that usually XML automatically publishes a website's newest updates. Right? So whenever a website publishes a new article, it automatically updates its RSS feed with the content title. You can see rss.com, the same logo that we saw on n8n's website, the same logo on Wikipedia as well, right? So it's easier to pull from the RSS website. So it does that, RSS feed, right? You can get these online. So if I come here and type The Verge RSS feed, link, right? So you'll get the link from here. Some free website will give you access to the link, right? So you can check that out. But let's come back. Let's come back. This is the documentation, and where was I? I was here, right? Similarly, there's another one, Get World News, and this uses BBC website as it's the RSS feed, right? So what this will do is it will go to these. Now, which model is it using? It is using GPT 4.1 mini, right? And the credentials have been added by default. And then it generates an output summary, which is nothing but text in the JSON format. So if I click execute workflow, ideally what should happen is all these things should get triggered and then get saved in this output workflow. So you can see right now the workflow is running, right? Because this has to go and find certain news information. So it says the output was successfully created. The output was successfully created. If I expand this, you can see in the output there is world news. So US strikes on Iran, then Russian attacks on merchant ships, right? And a few other news items here, but I don't see the tech news, but that's fine. You know, it says it was executed. I don't know why it did not run, right? And you can see how many items it reviewed. You can see 40 items here, and you can see 10 items here, right? So this is not my workflow. This is a template workflow, but I'll now show you how to build a workflow from scratch. Okay. So this is how it works, and they've also given an option that okay, if you want to send this to your Gmail, you can connect your Gmail here. They've given you instructions on how to do that, right? So right now I'll show you how to build your own workflow from scratch, right? So I can click on this plus icon here and choose new workflow, or I can click on create workflow here. So I'll click on create workflow here or anywhere on the plus icon as well, and I will get a blank canvas. Now there are two ways to build, right? One is I can build with AI or I can build on my own. You can always experiment with AI on your own. You're here to learn how to build on your own with me. So I'll choose add first step. I'll click on add first step. But before that, what am I building, right? Let me quickly show you what I'm building, guys. 1 second. Just give me a second, right? So we are going to build a simple AI agent that will use a chatbot as a trigger and perform an action I ask. In this case, sending emails, booking my, or rather blocking my calendar, etc. Right? That's what we are going to build. Right? So that's a sticky note for you right there. I will leave that on the screen so that you can look at it. I can click inside this My Workflow button and I can give this a name. So email drafting assistant. Perfect. Now that plus button has disappeared because I've added something here. When you have an absolutely blank, I'm going to delete this. When you have an absolutely blank canvas, you will see these two options. Control Z to get that notepad back. But when you have something on the screen, it will not show that plus button. But that plus button is right here, right? The shortcut is N. So you can press N and it opens the node panel. Now, I said I want the chat to be a trigger, so I don't want a manual trigger. I don't want it to run on a schedule. So you can see there are different things that are available to you. I'm going to just say chat right now without going into other details. And it says chat here. I will say on a new chat event. That is what my trigger should be. So every time you open a node, so I had stopped the recording there for a second. That's why you will see a break here in the last 10 seconds, but that's fine. So I've added a note for you to understand what we are building. I added the first chat trigger. Let me do that again. I click on the plus icon here. You can also click on N to open that notes panel. You search for chat. You choose the first option, the chat option. And in that option, you choose a trigger, which is on a new chat event, which is what I want to do. I want to send a message to the chatbot and then it should do something for me. So I'll say on a new chat event. Now every time you add something from a node, it's going to open a window like this, right? This window is going to be open, and essentially what you want to do is once this window is open, you can change some settings here, change some parameters here, so on and so forth, right? But every time you add a node, you're going to see this window, like a different window for every node, because every node will have different configuration. Right now I've selected this node when chat message received. I can change the name as well. I can write, let's say, email underscore chatbot, right? Perfect. So that's the trigger. Now you will see that I can see a chat here. I can see a hide chat button and an open chat button. I can minimize and collapse this panel as well, right? Or I can click on hide chat, so the chat gets hidden here completely. I can also click on open chat, so the chat gets opened. Now if I type hi in here, you will see that workflow was executed, right? But there is no response. It just says that, okay, I sent a message, that was the action. What was the session ID and what was the chat input? There is no output, right? I'm going to clear the logs and I'm going to reset the chat. I'm going to hide the chat. Now, what do we do next? Right now, the chatbot works. We saw it works, right? But no output. So we say, okay, I want to add an agent. So I click on the plus and you search AI agent. You search for AI agent and you choose the first one, this robot symbol, AI robot. Click on it. And now I want to add an agent. Again, now inside an agent, you will see a bunch of different options. We don't need anything right now, so we close this. That's my agent. But my agent needs something. Now, what does my agent need? You can see chat model has an asterisk, which means this is mandatory. So that's why I see a red exclamation here when I hover on it. No node connected to required input chat model. Double click on it. You will not see anything here to be changed. What I need to do is I just need to connect a chat model to it. So we click on plus. So it shows me a bunch of different chat models. Now the best part is if you're new to n8n, you get n8n for free for a few days, right? So you get free credits for Quen, for Anthropic, for Gemini, for Minimax, for Moonshot, for OpenAI chat model. Let me use a model that I've never used before. So let me use Quen. I've never used Quen earlier, right? I'm going to use n8n's credits. It's going to give me $1.96 for free. Sometimes whenever you use the free credits button, like free credits chatbot or model, you might have to click on a button here called claim credits. Don't click on top up. Top up means you have to add your own money. I don't want to add my own money. I want to use the free credits that I get. So what you're going to do is, rather than choosing my own credentials, you choose n8n credentials. And then there is Quen Plus and a bunch of different models. I don't know which is the best one. So I'm just going to go to Google and say latest QWEN Quen model. So that's 3.8 max preview. Then there was 3.7. So I can go by the number. So I'm going to pick 3.6. Right? I'm going to assume that is the latest one. Generally, a model with the word flash is fine-tuned to give you a quick response rather than the detailed response. So I'm going to choose 3.5 with 379 billion parameters, right? I'm assuming that 379 billion is for parameters, right? Nothing else should be done here. I've just chosen my model, nothing else. I close this. Now I click on open chat again and I say hi again. And now it gives me a response, right? It just says assistant. I don't know why. I'm going to say hi, how are you? And it says assistant. Okay, let me maybe try adding system prompt. Okay, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. I know what's happening. So I double click on AI agent. I can come down and I can go to add option. And there's an option here called system message. You remember I told you about prompts, that an AI agent needs a prompt. So system message, it says you're a helpful assistant. So that is the default message that it gets. Who will reply politely and help the user draft emails basis their request and structure the emails correctly, address them to the email ID the user mentions along with the subject and the body of the message. Always close the message with proper regards. rather, yeah, proper regards, and user's name, Talha. I'm going to close this. I'm going to reset the chat. I'm going to put a hi again. And it says, assistant. Can you, okay, so this is not a very good model, I'm assuming. Draft an email. So it says, assistant. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with this model. Let me just change this to 3.6 and try again. Hi. Well, I just wrote ho, but that's fine. Oh, okay, it responded. So it looks like, so my assumption was bad. 3.5 was not a good model in this case. It looks like your message has been cut off. To help you drop the, because I wrote ho, it is assuming my message is cut off. So it needs the recipient's email address, the desired subject line, the main points of the purpose of the email, any preferred tone. Once you provide those details, I'll format it correctly with a proper to, subject, body, and closing signed by Talha. Looking forward to your reply. What else can you help me with? I'm just gonna expand this so you can see it's working, right? It's loading right now. It's thinking and generating a response. I'll be glad to help. While my main focus is crafting well-structured professional emails, I can also assist you with writing, publishing various business communication, tone adjustment, etc., etc., etc. Okay. I'm going to say I'm from Delhi. Remember this detail about me. I just told it who I am and where I belong to. Right. I'm not going into my name again because my name is already there in the system prompt. Right. Thank you for sharing that. I noted that you're from Delhi and we'll keep that in mind for any correspondence we draft together. Right. Now again, it keeps on telling me that, I can sign off the email this way, so on and so forth. I'm going to say that, where am I from? I'm going to ask it again, right? I just told it that I'm from Delhi, right? I'm going to say, where am I from? Let's see what it says, right? Ideally, it should be able to tell me that I'm from Delhi, but it's taking a lot of time to load. I don't have access to personal information about you, so I'm not sure where you're from. Now, why did this happen? Think about it. What else does the agent need? It needs memory. Absolutely correct. So you click on memory. Now, there are different memories that you can add, right? So, without going into a lot of technicality, so memory could be databases like a MongoDB, PostgreSDB, Redis, XAT. I'm not sure what this is, but these are like databases. So, Postgres is a SQL database, I'm assuming, and MongoDB is a NoSQL, I'm guessing. MongoDB is SQL or NoSQL. MongoDB is NoSQL, right? And Postgre is SQL. I'm assuming my assumption is right. Yes, Postgre is SQL, right? So there are different databases. But if you're not someone who does not know what databases are and you've never worked with them, just skip this and choose simple memory. n8n's internal storage. You don't have to set up any credentials. So I choose simple memory. Again, because it shows a node, configuration opens up. Here you can change one thing. So you have context window length, which essentially means how many chat conversations, how many conversations. So hi is one conversation. My name is Talha is two conversations. I'm from Delhi is a third message. So that's a three conversations. So how many messages do you want the chatbot to remember, the AI agent to remember? I can say 10, like you store 10 in memory. That's fine for now. So I can click on close and that's it. So now when I say I'm from Delhi, and then I ask, where am I from? This model is taking a lot of time to respond. If I use OpenAI's model or something else, then it will respond much faster. Okay, you can experiment. I just wanted to show you with like a not so good model. It might be good on a lot of different parameters. So you remember I told it I'm from Delhi, then I asked it, where am I from? And it says, you mentioned that you're from Delhi. Okay, perfect. Now, what else do we need? I need to connect my Gmail account. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go to tool. I am going to go to what do I need here? Gmail, right? And this is the one that I want. Not human in the loop, this one. Gmail tool, I click on that. Then I can edit here. So right when you log in, you choose Gmail for the first time. It will show you sign up with Google. Since I already have an account and Gmail configured in one of the examples, I'm just gonna click on edit here, and you can simply choose sign in with Google. My account is already logged in, right? One thing we need to do here, if I close this, it'll show a red triangle here. The reason it shows a red triangle is that the subject, and the message is not configured. Now I want AI to figure this out. I don't want to hard code anything. So I'm going to choose this AI button here. Let the model define. Let the model define for subject as well, and let the model define for the message as well. Right? These three things. Right? And I click on close, and that's good to go for now. I'm going to reset chat session, and you can see all of that has gone away. And now I'm going to write a simple email. Let me try to send an email to myself. Right? So send an email to talha.parkar@gmail.com to test if their email drafting assistant agent built on n8n is working fine or not. So I'm going to send this message, right? Now what the Quinn chat model is going to do, it's loading right now. Do you see that? It's going to generate a response for me, right? So hi there, this is a test. I have sent the test message to Talha. The message includes a subject line and a brief body confirming the purpose of the email. It appears to have delivered successfully. Let's go and check. So here, while this was running, okay, I'm going to copy that prompt again, and I want all of you to focus. I'm going to minimize the chat window now. I want to reset the chat session. I want all of you to focus on the workflow here, okay? I'm clicking in chat, pasting the chat, sending it. Look at the workflow. Do you see? The orange means it is working. The orange highlight means it is working, right? And then that's it. It's triggered. Do you see that? All three things have been executed successfully, right? We can see the email here as well. Now let's go and check my email. Very quickly, I'm just gonna go to my inbox, and I am going to zoom in, open the first one, and there you go. So I just received this email 0 minutes ago from my own ID, because my ID is configured there. This is the test email to check if the email drafting agent built on the internet is working fine. Please confirm receipt once you see this message. Best regards, Talha. Now I want these things to be on a different line, so I'm going to go back and edit my system prompt. So I'm going to come back to the agent, and I'm going to say that the intro, the salutation, the body, the closing with regards, all should be on separate lines, not in the same line. For example, dear sir, this is a example body, regards, Talha. And I'm going to close this, right? Remember, it's a model, it needs prompts. I'm going to send myself another email. I just reset the chat from here, this arrow. I'm going to send myself another email. Let's see what it does. So it's working. It's working. And let's see if it works. Let's see if it does what we wanted to do. So we can see the chat input right now. We can see the model is loading. The model has access, and it has executed the workflow, right? And let's come back. I'm just going to zoom in, and I'm going to open the, I'm going to refresh. Oh yeah, there we go. No, this is the old one. Let me refresh. Yeah, there you go. New email, 1114, right? 2315, which is 1115. Let's see if it's on a different line. It is not. Maybe you can just tweak the prompt a little more and try to do it. I'm not going to spend some more time on it. You can always go to ChatGPT as well. So I can go to ChatGPT. Let me do it one last time. Let me do one last attempt. I'm going to say, I'm going to copy my system prompt actually, and go to ChatGPT and ask it to refine it. Giving this system message to an agent in n8n using Quinn model. It writes the email in same line as this greeting and closing remark. So I'm just giving this entire thing to ChatGPT. This is strongly constrained the output format. Many models will ignore formatting instructions unless they're very specific. So we'll just try with this message. So I'm going to come back, remove this, add this, close this, put in my, reset the chat, put in my message here, but I'm going to draft a different email to test if they have understood the n8n intro class I took for them yesterday. For example, just a draft title or draft prompt, right? I send this and let's see. So the workflow is running, and let's see if it is able to format it for us. So it did not send the email actually. Did you see? Gmail did not get triggered as green, right? So it did not send the email. Did you send the email? I want to ask it. I have to go back and look at my prompt as well. Oh, it says generate emails. It does not send it. My bad. So the prompt did not say send, right? The prompt said generate. So it generated the email, but it did not send it. I wanted to send it. So let's see if I ask it to send the email, does it do that? Otherwise, I'll go to the system prompt and edit it. Where it says generate an email, I'll say generate and send an email. I'll do that. Let me just see what this model is doing. Else, I will just show you how to publish this with a front end, right? I'll not take up more of your time. But I hope you're able to understand that there has to be a trigger, and there can be an agent. The agent needs a model. I'm using Quen. You can use OpenAI or any other model as well. It did not send the email. One last attempt. I'm going to come and edit, generate, and send. I'm going to just change that, reset the chat, and let's try this. So it's 11:18. Let's try this example. I don't think it is sending because of the system prompt. So I can come back to GPT and say that this prompt only drafts the email. Quen is not sending it, although my Gmail tool is connected. Let's try to do that. Let's try this. So it asks you a few questions and etc. Let me just try this one last time. Else I'll show you. So you have to write a lot of things explicitly. Let me test this again. It is 11:19 so that I know that I can check the same time. One last attempt. But I showed you how to send the email, right? Perfect. So because we wrote, see, models are system prompt driven. So you have to write a system prompt for the model to do something. And right in front of you, I gave my initial prompt, which I wrote in front of you to ChatGPT. I asked it to modify it. And then I said to ChatGPT, it's not doing it correctly. So now, if I come back, 11:19, refresh, refresh, refresh. You can see 11:19. There we go. Open this up. My bad, I don't want to. And still not in the same line. I think we'll have to give it like a JSON or something structure, and then you can try it. But I'll stop for now. Uh, so there, that's it. That's it. You just created your entire workflow inside n8n, your first workflow. I hope you were able to understand this. I hope you were able to build it along with me. Watch the video a few times. Nothing very complex. Move the flows around. Experiment. Use a different model. Quen is not that good, I'm assuming, at least for this use case. Or I might have be missing something, so I might not have written the prompt in such a manner that it structures the email correctly. You can always go to Google and search for such things. There are ready-made prompts available. But yeah, there you go. That was my first video on n8n. I'll try to make more in the coming weeks. So yeah, thank you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe, and I'll keep sharing more content. Thank you. See you again.